Hello. We're here Monday, March, and Emily just asked me how to put wellness credit or scholarship on someone's order prior to putting the order in. Okay, so when you go to your website and you're putting in the order, you're gonna put their cart. Just check out as though you're going. Check out, put the client in, and then when you put them on the B Slim or the Premier, then they're going to be enrolled into the system when you click it. Okay, you'll see a little blue box pop up on the right. It says, "Congratulations, you're now enrolled in the Premier." Well, if you go up top or press back or go up top and press My Account, their account info is going to pop up. It's going to give you their client ID number. Okay, make sense? Okay. So when you have their client ID number, you can either open it up another tab and log in. I personally have Internet Explorer on my computer, and I have Chrome. I've got two different, does that make sense? I've got two different internet. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm in Internet Explorer doing this person's order, I'll open up Chrome, log into my Optavia account, and purchase the scholarship. Does that make sense, Emily? That way I'm not having to log back in and out of this account or whatever. And then what will happen, I go to Chrome, I go into my account, I buy the $25 scholarship, check out. Then I go back to Internet Explorer, I open up Kelly's account, I click check out, just kind of start over. I hit check out, go through, put in her address, put in, her whatever. And then it will have processed in there. So you'll see it at the bottom. It will have registered. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're muted, Emily. Emily, you're muted. You keep talking.
Okay, so I go in like I'm placing her order.
Yep.
I go all the way up until before I put her credit card number in.
Right.
And then I get her ID, and then I go to another Chrome or another area, and I give her credits, and then I go back and I finish checking out there.
Yeah, just finish checking out. Yep, you'll go up to the cart. You can click the cart to check out.
Okay.
Finish checking out.
Okay.
It makes more sense when you do it,
Once I do it, I'll understand it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, new client, Shamrock, by the way.
Woo! Yay. Dang, girl.
Can I ask
Tanya,
a
I
question,
can't hear
Laura?
you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. When you go in to purchase it, is there a place that says buy scholarship?
Honestly, the easiest way to do it is up on the right. There's a search box. I just type wellness credit in there, and it just pops up.
Oh, wellness credit. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
That makes it easier. Okay.
Yeah, because we used to have to call them in. That sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I do that while you're talking? Like, would you mind if I get on?
Yeah, because you know about your taxes and you know how to do your taxes. Oh. Step it up in the world.
Okay.
You already know about your taxes and stuff. But before I get into that and those tips about your taxes and your budgeting, my question to you guys is, so remember how last week I used the coaching tip of emotional eating and stuff? I totally forgot to post the weekend challenge. That was my bad. I will do that from now on. But did you guys use those tools? Did you even talk about emotional eating? Was it even useful? Was it kind of gone by the wayside or?
I went in and I got the YouTube video from the week before.
Yep.
And I used that one. This week I went in and I did the podcast, and I shared that with everybody. And then as I talked to them, and today I haven't had a chance to call my clients because it's been a crazy day. But as I talked to them, then I asked them if they watched the video. And then if they hadn't watched it or they didn't see it, I resent it to them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody pounded some chicken or something. Yeah, I sent them the video with my weekly newsletter because I sent it later that night, and then I talked to them about it.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so it's working. I just want to make sure that the topics are useful. You know, I don't want to be like thinking it is and nobody's using it or doing anything with it. Or okay, very good. Okay, and today was inflammation. You guys saw me post about it. I posted with the newsletter. When I called my people today, I said, and talked to some of them, I said, hey, I sent out the newsletter today about inflammation. Read through it. Make sure you've crossed your T's, dotted your I's, because that could slow down your weight loss. Your body could be inflamed. So we don't want that happening. They're like, oh, okay. So, and then the Habits of Health call will be on this week. Okay. As long as we touch on it somehow with our clients, that's all that matters. You don't need to go through a 30-minute phone call with them about it, but as long as we touch on it as our coach, because you will hear Dr. Anderson say this all the time. We are their guide. We are not their teacher. We are their guide. Okay, that's our role as our coach. Okay, there's a reason for the Habits of Health book. There's a reason for the Habits of Health calls. Those are all there to teach them. And chapter 21, I believe, is the chapter in the Habits of Health book. So if they don't have time to watch the video, or they can't watch the video or whatever, then say, well, grab chapter 21 this week and read chapter 21. Okay. And then really quick about upcoming events and stuff for JC Mo folks. I posted earlier as well. Next Tuesday evening. Okay, hold on. Let me back up. About this Meltdown challenge that we're having in Jeff City. We're talking about membership, or entry fees and all this and the cost of what it's going to be. So I'm kind of taking, don't get mad at me or disappointed, but we are going to allow coaches to do it for free, right? But then we got to thinking, and this is not an IBU, but there's coaches out there this is kind of below the line I'm saying this, but there's coaches out there that will just take advantage of doing it, but yet they won't work to bring more people to that. Does that make sense? The point of this is for you guys to grow and bring people there with you. Not only to grow yourself, but to grow your community when you're doing something together, right? So what I kind of talked with Erin about this morning, I think what we're going to do is if each coach brings 4 people with them, 4 people to join the Meltdown with them, their entry will be free. Okay, that's fair, right? And I am going to personally do the same thing. Because I'm going to talk to some neighbors of mine and some of my mommy friends. Or clients. Those can be your clients too. It doesn't have to be new. It could be your current clients. All right. So I wanted to share that with you. And just so that it's fair, because it's a lot of work to do something like this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. So we want to make sure that Erin's getting what she needs, the trainers are getting what they need, all the food, everything that's going into it's getting covered, it's getting paid for. So that's what we're going to do with any coaches. If you at least bring 4 people with you to the challenge and help them sign up on the Meltdown, then you'll just get entered for free. Okay, I want to say that real quick. But next Tuesday, so that being said, next Tuesday night on the 20th, we're having just an open house, kind of like an open house gathering where at 6 p.m., it's going to just be come and mingle, get a tour. Look, we'll have the agenda of the Meltdown there, like what the topics are going to be, the workouts, all that cool stuff. And then at 6:30, we're going to do a 30-minute workout. And then at 7, then we're going to have a healthy happy hour. We'll have lean green appetizers. We'll have healthy cocktails. And then it'll have a chance for that will be the last day for the early bird registration because we only have limited spots. So that's going to be the last day for the registration. And the cool part is that we're giving away all these freebies. So there's going to be little goodie bags that are going to have a discounted membership to Love to Nourish. We're going to have 10% off to the studio. We're going to have a cool headband, like Meltdown headband that you'll get for getting set up what else do we have in there? There's just a bunch of stuff that they came up with that we're going to put in these little goodie bags. So when you register, or if you have already registered, then you'll get one of those goodie bags to take with you. And you'll get entered into have a free membership to the studio. Okay? So there's going to be some really cool stuff going on next Tuesday. So as this week goes on and you're talking to your clients, like I talked to a candidate today that spoke to Ashley Rackers, one of our coaches on the team. She's actually a 333 person. She friended me and I friended her and said, hey, I see that we have a lot of similar friends here. How do we know each other? Or are you already a program? And she's like, no, I can't afford it right now. And so long story short, I offered her the Meltdown. I said, well, can you afford $100? And she's like, yeah, I could probably make that work. And I said, okay, well, here's what I have to offer you. I'm hosting this. This is something that you can be a part of. If you can't afford full program right now. She's like, oh, this is perfect. So she's going to check it out. So, so I used that tool to be able to help somebody that couldn't afford full program. Okay. So anyway, so that's coming up. Carrie, we're talking about an event here in town. You haven't missed anything yet. And then, okay, so let's cover taxes. This is something I just want to cover from the very get-go because, we're starting a brand new year. A lot of you on here don't even have to worry about this. Emily's the only one, and Lori. Otherwise, you other ladies on here don't have to worry about doing taxes necessarily for 2017, but going into a brand new year, you just want to make sure you're doing it right, okay, from the very get-go. Okay, so you have a pen and paper, some notes. Okay, these are things that you want to make sure you're doing throughout the year. And honestly, this is the best thing to do on a monthly basis. First thing is you definitely want to have an app on your phone called Mile IQ. This goes for everybody. Carrie, you too.
I'm looking for my pen and paper, honey. I'm sorry.
Especially since you're about to have your last day of work, the coach full time.
I know. I'm trying to find my notepad. I thought I was on it.
Okay, so the app called Mile IQ is an app on your phone that tracks everywhere you drive automatically. Okay. So, and then when you open up this app, it's really fun because it opens it up and it says, okay, Tanya, did you drive to school today or did you drive to Panera? Let's say you drove to school for work, right? It has a little house and a little briefcase. So it's either personal or it's business related, right? So if you drove to school, which what's cool is because it will save the route and you can put in it's school that you're going to, so you can type it in there. It will always remember that that's school, okay, which is cool. So when I open up mine right now, I just came from the YMCA to Doubletree. So I know that's that's business. So I swipe it right because it's business. But let's say I went to the boys preschool. Well, I swipe it left because that's personal. So you can swipe what's what. What's personal, what's business. Or if you go to Panera, it's going to be business. So it's awesome because it keeps track of every place you drive. And honestly, half the places I drive every day are business related. And it's crazy how much mileage you can add up that you can deduct from your taxes. Okay, it's very important. So right now, just being in March, don't stress out about January, February, or anything. You could probably put, for you ladies, probably a third of your mileage the last couple months. But just going forward, have this app on your phone. That way, everything is tracked. Okay. Okay. Next, since we're talking about deductions, I'll go into your income in a second. So since we're talking about deductions, and I should have just pulled this up, but basically you want to keep track of every meal that you go out to, every coffee date, every dinner date, anything like when you guys came up to Columbia that night with me, I hope you kept your receipts. All that stuff is all write-off. That dinner out that we had downtown Columbia, write-off.
Hey, can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
I talked to an accountant who is learning all the new stuff, and she said that meals will possibly not be a write-off. unless it's on a business card. But she wasn't for sure on that, but that was what she said. So if you do go to those things, make sure you use your Optavia card.
Right. And
Because
I'll get into that in a little bit. But
okay.
Yeah. And that's what makes all this easy, is because Optavia did come out with this card. So you can business budget what you need. And I'll share a sheet with you that we have for that. But you still want to keep your receipts, okay? So when you go out to eat, keep your receipts, put them in your wallet. I've got a little basket in my drawer at home that's all my business, all my stuff. Like Misty, when you bought the balloons and bought all that stuff for the other night, keep that receipt and put that, keep that. Anything that has to do with the business, I'm talking like meals that you have, you almost have to stop and be mindful when you get your receipt. Be like, was this business related? Was this Optavia related? When we come up to traveling here soon, some of us have Go Global coming up. And then we have convention coming up this summer, your hotel stay, your registration fee for convention, all of that stuff. And we're going to talk about convention next week. All of that is all write off, okay? Just keep your receipts. And then the best way to do that, and I can share with you guys my Excel sheet, because I've got one for meals, I've got one for traveling, I've got one for I call it my networking Excel sheet, where it's like, it's that stuff. Like if I go to something like a conference, or I go to something that's, has some sort of fee, that's where I keep all that. And then I have one for supplies. So things I buy for, if I make copies, at Hy-Vee, I keep my receipts on that. Or if I just needed a new stapler from Target, so I kept the receipt on that because that was business related. Just all kinds of things, paper, prints, a computer. Emily, if you just got that computer or whatever, that's a write-off. I just got a new printer. My iWatch, write-off, because I use it every day, and a lot of it's business related.
Paper.
Yeah. So, and there are forms that you can, and I can help you with this too. There's forms out there that you can get, like you can Google like business write-off, like supplies, and that way you can kind of go through and kind of get an idea of what. But if you're using it for Optavia, that's an easy indication of what you can write off. Also, like scholarships, all the scholarships that you guys give away, those are write-offs. And then your Optavia fueling. So basically the way I talk to my accountant is like my Optavia fuelings that I purchased, I just write off half of those, okay, half of that intake. So I add up all the Optavia fuelings I bought this last year, and I divide it in half and write that off. Those of you, which this is more for Emily, since she's basically a full-time coach, but and Missy, this can be something for you to think about this next year, but when you have an office at home, like I work from my office at home a lot, so that area of my house is a write-off. And we can go more into that next tax season when it gets closer. But, I take in my water bill, my electric, all of that, and that little space in my house, that's a write-off. My phone bill, my internet bill, all of that is part of our write-off. Okay. And what I can do to make it simple for you guys is when I post this recording tomorrow, I can put a list of the different write-offs. Does that help? That way you can kind of, like and stuff like this, like Zoom, I purchase Zoom, so I pay for Zoom every month. So that's a write-off, stuff like that I use for Optavia. Okay. And then, okay, so that's the deductions. And then when you come to your income in the Optavia pay.
I have a question.
What?
Can you write off the cost of apps on your phone, like for Mile IQ?
Yes, you can. Yep. I'm going to open up the Optavia pay real quick, okay?
I write off Audible. I have Audible on my phone because I'm not a reader, so I write it off also.
There you go. The crazy girl.
Also, another thing too, we were talking about cars earlier, like keeping track of your your mileage and everything. I know with my business, I keep track of other things like, anything I'm putting into my car, maintenance fees, car washes, my insurance, like that's all kept. Do you guys all have an accountant? Misty doesn't. Tanya does. Okay, so Tanya, when next year comes, and you'll let them know like you have another business, and they should help you, give you a sheet that goes through all of this. Carrie, do you have an accountant?
But I can't have.
Yeah, I would definitely look into getting one. Lori, do you? Okay, good. Misty? Okay, so maybe going into this next year, you can look into getting one. I mean, for me to have my account, it's like $200. I mean, I pay him, which is like nothing for me to hand him over my stuff and for him to double check and make sure I'm doing everything correctly. It's worth it. I'm not missing out on anything. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I shouldn't show you. Okay, hold on. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about, your Optavia Pay and how that works here. Okay, okay. So when you guys get paid, this is how you get paid. So you get paid once a month. You get your big bonus, okay, or whatever, on the 15th. I think we already got it early this month, okay, and then you get paid on the 15th, and then you get paid on every Wednesday. All right, does everybody realize that? Each Wednesday you get paid for last week's orders, and that happens each week. It goes from Monday to Sunday, and that on Wednesday you get that paycheck. Well, then on the 15th, that's when you get paid for everything. So that's when you get paid for your coaching time. That's when you get paid for being certified. That's when you get paid for your team. Like, that's when you get the big chunk. All right. And you should already have that in your account because we got it early for some reason. You should already have that in your account right now for your monthly bonus. And that's also when your rank plays effect. So we talked about manager and associate director, all this stuff, like you see those things. That's when you're getting those promotion, and then that's what's increasing that amount each month. Okay. So when you get paid, so what's cool is like you can see whether it's available accounts or whether it's on your card, and then you can go in and transfer it. You transfer to your bank. Now this is when taxes come into play, okay, and this is when savings come into play, because this basically is almost like an extra account for you in your life. So, I work with coaches that say, oh, I just want to make an extra $1,000 a month, or oh, I just want to have a savings account, or oh, I want to work on my snowball debt. Well, this is when this comes into play because, and something that Derek and I are doing is just leaving some money in here, only transferring over to my bank account what I need to pay the bills, to pay for groceries, to pay for like the things. And then I'm leaving in my account, I'm just leaving it there so that, and that's where I can take chunks off of the debt snowball. Okay. So when it comes to budgeting, so a budget tip, okay, we'll go over that later. But anyway, so when it comes to what I'm saying is that you can leave a certain amount in here for your taxes. So this can almost be where you have money set aside for taxes. So when you get paid each time, you want to take or keep 20% of that in your account, okay? Because you're going to need that when it comes time for taxes. So with this amount here, I'm going to pull 20% of that. I'm going to keep it in this account. Just leave it there. Because that's what I need for taxes. All right. Does that make sense? So then you always have that amount. Like it doesn't go anywhere. Or if you do pull it all into your checking account and just have a savings account or have a business account, you can go to your checking, you can go to your checking account and say, hey, I want to open up a business account. That way you can just transfer money into there for your taxes. You can do that as well. That's something smart to do. That way you just have your money for taxes is just set aside. Okay. So every month on the 15th, I pull back 20. Every Wednesday, I pull back 20. I just keep that for taxes. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, when it comes to, hold on, I'm going to open up something for you real quick. Give me a second here. We have what's called a business budget that you can use where, you know, when it comes to copies and when it comes to meals, when it comes to coffee dates and comes to all that stuff, we have a business budget where you can budget that. You can say, okay, I need $200 a month for all my Optavia stuff for my business. Can you guys see this page that I'm scrolling down? Hold on. I have to look for it. It's in the mix of all this stuff here. Oh, I guess I don't have to show you, but basically it just lays everything out for you, okay? To where you just think about everything. You think about, you know, is there something that you're saving for? It takes into effect your taxes, and so I wish I could find it. It's usually right around. Let me look one. Let me keep looking for a second here. Well, oh, here it is. Okay. Ooh, there's even an Excel sheet now. Interesting. I didn't know there's an Excel sheet. I'll have to check that out. Okay, so here it is. But it walks you through how to do it. Okay. Can you guys see it? Okay, good. Okay, so so it tells you, you know, what your income is, you know, for the month, like what it's going to be, and then, you know, different things to save up for. So we do have convention coming up soon. You know, how much you're going to need for that, you know. So are you going to start saving out aside a certain amount each month for that? Or just all the trips. What's cool about this is it averages out all the trips that you would attend. So for a lot of you, it would be convention. Divide that by 12. But just other things you need, like business cards, newsletters, any printing that you're doing, you know, your cell phone use, which I don't know, I keep that pretty simple. You know, 20%, you want to take out 20% of taxes. So basically, it takes your total income that you're making from Optavia, and then you subtract out what business expenses you need from that, and then after that, then you leave all that business stuff on your Optavia card. And whatever's left, see here at the bottom, it says your business income minus all your business expenses you need. And then whatever's left, that's what play money goes to your personal account, or goes to your snowball, or goes to whatever. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that? Okay. Because for a lot of you, your Optavia money is extra. I mean, it is play money. But so anything that you're having to pay for business-wise should be paid for by Optavia. Okay? Okay. Okay, what questions does anyone have? And I will get you that sheet. I will have that sheet posted on our team page. Any questions? No? Okay. Does it make sense? Is that helpful? Or what they keep track of? Okay. It can kind of be complicated, so I don't want to make it like too complicated for you. Okay. What's up? We need to put your order in too. Okay, hold on, because I'm almost done with this.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's it for now. And then next week, what we need to start talking about, I'm kind of trying to get this Meltdown thing rolling, but next week, what we need to talk about, or soon, March is a really, really busy month, so I don't want to get too distracted with other outside things, because we have, I mean, it's a busy month. We have a lot going on, so I want to help you guys all explode right now. Plus, we have, did everybody see the 2 incentives today with my crazy, stupid video? Yes. So definitely take advantage of the incentives. So I want you guys to focus on those things. So I'm talking to some of you girls about Go Global tonight at 8:30 in 10 minutes. And then we will probably start talking about convention in the next few weeks. But it's the thing with convention is that just so you guys know what's coming up for yourself personally, but then this is also a huge opportunity for us to bring as many people with us as we can. Emily and I have been working on being able to set up the opportunity for clients and anybody to go on a bus up to St. Louis for a very cheap cost, not expensive at all. So we just want to get bus loaded up there to, that way people can experience. I mean, we have a lot of amazing clients that love Optavia, and they would just love to be able to experience the big picture, be able to hear Dr. Anderson talk. And so we have that opportunity coming up for us that we need to take advantage of. But even though it's in July, it's going to be here like right around the corner. And it happens every freaking time. Like every year, I'm like, oh, I've got time to think about convention and plan it. And then before I know it, it's here. And it's never been in St. Louis. This is the first time. So we want to definitely take advantage of it, make it a big deal, and use it to our advantage. Because think about this, guys. If you had, let's say, 10, let's just say 10. That's like a minimal number. Anybody can easily probably get like 20. But let's just say you had 10 people, like 10 of your most favorite clients attend convention, right? Think about how many people would walk out of there starving to become a health coach. Like the event would do it for you. You'd have people just like ready and like falling in love with the process. So that's why I'm saying like this is coming up. It's a big deal. We want to get as many people as we can there. And you can have your help. Hell, you can come home like with an explosion of a business because of it. So we just want to use it to our advantage. Okay. Does anyone have anything else you want to share? Well, real quick before we hop off, give me an update about each one of you. Tell us how you are, your pies. We didn't go over our pies. I will stop the recording for now, but no, I won't stop the recording because other people watch it too. Where are you guys at as far as your pies? I can go first. Physically, feeling awesome. Better than ever. I'm really following the 5-2-2 pretty strict. I'm going to weigh in here another few weeks, see where I'm at. I even got my little tracker I'm filling out. And then emotionally good. Well, no, not so good. My parents, this is kind of personal, but my mom and dad are pretty hard on me. So they're pretty critical of me and my life, and it's just so I have trouble with that. So yesterday they kind of laid into me a little bit, so that was really hard to. You would think the biggest fans of your life would be your parents, right? But they're like the biggest critics. So I kind of struggle with that. Not everybody knows that, but and then intellectually, business-wise, I'm excited. I think things are going great. I'm loving reading our book we're reading, and spiritually good. I say my prayers in the morning, and I'm looking forward to going to church this weekend. And so that's where I'm at today. Who wants to go next?
My pie tasted very good this week. Sorry.
Remember, pies are physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual.
Oh, they're not supposed to taste good. Sorry. Physically, I'm feeling strong. My foot's getting better. I have about another week and a half, and I should be out of a boot and moving and walking, and I'm excited about that. And emotionally, I am learning to not be so hard on myself and to not take things so personal. Intellectually, this business either goes in, it feels like a drought or a onslaught from 1 minute to the next. So, I had somebody ditch me at 2:00 today, and then I've had 2 calls since tonight that I've done, and I have some, but it happens so fast that sometimes you don't get a chance to say anything to anybody. It just happens. So Like, I thought I was going to go have dinner with my family, and I had call instead. So that's awesome. And spiritually, I'm working on it.
Good.
I'm working on it.
Very good. Who's next?
I'll go next.
You're on unmute. Oh, you just muted yourself. Hold on.
There.
There you
Is
go.
that better?
Yep.
Okay. So physically, I just got done with yoga, feeling good. I'm picking up 2 more yoga classes a week so that I can go 3 times. And I'm going to start working with the trainer for weightlifting. So I'm excited about that. Intellectually good. I'm in a couple book studies and I'm enjoying that. Emotionally, much better. I'm learning some things about myself that are uncomfortable that I don't really like. So that's interesting. And spiritually, really good. I enjoy going to church and I have my quiet time in the morning. So yeah.
Good. I like to hear that. Very good.
Yeah.
Who's next? Emily.
Call me out. Okay. Spiritually, I have loved this because my daughter has to make a prayer box.
Oh, very cool.
And I am excited about this because every time I tell a client that I'm going to pray for them, I do, but I don't think that it's like enough.
Right.
So now I can throw it in her prayer box. It's got to go in for a grade first, but I can write it on a piece of paper and we can put it in her prayer box. And she did all Luke's on here, all of his scripture. So spiritually, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Physically, I can't make it to the Y. I just can't make it there. Today was one disaster after next, and I looked at my daughter when she's just had a crap weekend. I mean, it's just not been fun for her, my 17-year-old. And so she missed her eye appointment. She was late for play practice, and she barely got her driver's license back. 17, she forgot to renew it, so she had to take all the tests completely over today.
Wow.
Anyway, I looked at her and I said, this is just going to make you stronger. These things will just make you stronger. So she didn't believe me at the time, but hopefully in the future. Family, that feels good. Let's see, physically, family, spiritually. What did I miss? I didn't read the book. Emotionally. I got St. John Mort here and Sleepy Time tea, so I'm good.
Did anybody read their book this week?
I did.
Okay, good.
Missy, tell us about us. Give us a book report.
No, have Carrie go and Lori go first.
Okay.
Carrie, you go. You're unmuted.
Okay, so physically, I just started working out again, so that's super exciting. Intellectually, business, I'm really, really excited for this business explosion that I kind of have going on. Like, I'm everywhere. And Friday, I don't work again till Friday, and that's my last day of work at my other super crazy job that stopped me from, like, really doing what I love. So that's a huge, huge thing. So emotionally, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm super duper excited with tons of support. So that's awesome. And spiritually, I love Jesus, and I'm good.
Awesome. Very good. Lori, you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Physically, doing good. Just got done coaching hour and a half of 8 fifth graders volleyball. So got in coaching tonight and working out with them. Intellect, doing okay. Trying to get caught up reading the book. And emotionally, I was doing pretty good. Was a little, I was a little upset last week. Sometimes you do good, and I thought I had a couple really good clients that would be on for a long time, and I was just disappointed that they quit so soon. And spiritually, doing great. Oh, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
I guess I was
Very
talking
good.
too loud. I interrupted my daughter.
Very good. Awesome. Okay, good. It's good to always know like where everybody's at. So, okay. All right, ladies. Well, we will end the recording. Thank you for sharing.